I'm looking at what's going on around this great country today, and it's an amazing time to be alive and to be an observer of what is happening and have input about it. It's so amazing. And with all the looting, the rioting and stealing, and I mean, attack, physical attacks upon white people, and I mean, literally beating white women and men in front of their business and homes. And I am now seeing police officers kneeling with the protesters. I never imagined that one day in America I would see that. I am now seeing politicians and hearing them going along with the protests and the looters and the rioters, and I never imagined I would see that. It's as though someone has secretly destroyed the strength of America. They have been weakening this country for years. But I didn't think it was going to really happen. But it really is happening. America's weak now. And it almost seemed, but by the grace of God, I still have faith. It almost seemed that America is dead. And I've noticed, one thing that I've noticed during all this chaos stuff that's going on right now is that more and more women are in charge. And as a result of that, the country is becoming weaker and weaker and weaker. And it's the same deal in the homes. When the fathers are out of the home or weak in the home, not the head of his wife and protecting his children from the wife, then the family is screwed up. They get weak and weak and weak. The kids go out of control. They're influenced by anger. And likewise, that's happening it happened in the schools, it happens in government, and now it's happening all over. And also it's being reported that with these riots and protests and things like that are happening, that the instigators are coming from different states and other places. They're flying in and supporting this. They're pushing it. They're encouraging the violence. They're encouraging the anger. And when it happens, they get on a flight and go back home or go somewhere else. This is well funded and well organized. It's just that the angry people, especially angry young men and women in America, they can't see that they are being used. But somebody is behind this. It is well organized. And they're making it look like it's for the blacks, but it's not. It's for something else. The same thing happened during the civil rights movement, so-called civil rights movement. They used the angry blacks. Some say the Communist Party got involved with the angry blacks. But you need to watch and pay attention to what's happening in America today and around the, well, you can watch if you want around the world, but it's all connected in a way. But somebody want you to be that way with each other. They want the whites with the Jews angry at the Jews so that they can start a race war. They could always have these situations going on. And they come in, pretend to be saving you, but they're taking away your rights. And when you're seeing it, it looks so devastating. It almost looked like there's no hope to it, like no end. But if you have faith and don't become angry, maintain faith, it's going to be an amazing ending for the good. So the president, this is from the White House, the Great White Hope, the president spoke at the Rose Garden yesterday and addressed the nations regarding the rioting and looting going on in the past few days. Here's that soundbite.
Americans, my first and highest duty as president is to defend our great country and the American people. I swore an oath to uphold the laws of our nation, and that is exactly what I will do. We cannot allow the righteous cries and peaceful protesters to be drowned out by an angry mob. The biggest victims of the rioting are peace-loving citizens in our poorest communities. And as their president, I will fight to keep them safe. I will fight to protect you. I am your president of law and order and an ally of all peaceful protesters. But in recent days, our nation has been gripped by professional anarchists, violent mobs, arsonists, looters, criminals, rioters, Antifa, and others. A number of state and local governments have failed to take necessary action to safeguard their residents. These are acts of domestic terror. The destruction of innocent life and the spilling of innocent blood is an offense to humanity and a crime against God. That is why I am taking immediate presidential action to stop the violence and restore security and safety in America. I am mobilizing all available federal resources, civilian and military, to stop the rioting and looting, to end the destruction and arson, and to protect the rights of law-abiding Americans, including your Second Amendment rights. Therefore, the following measures are going into effect immediately. First, we are ending the riots and lawlessness that has spread throughout our country. We will end it now. Today, I have strongly recommended to every governor to deploy the National Guard in sufficient numbers that we dominate the streets. If a city or state refuses to take the actions that are necessary to defend the life and property of their residents, then I will deploy the United States military and quickly solve the problem for them. Those who threaten innocent life and property will be arrested, detained, and prosecuted to the fullest extent of the law. I want the organizers of this terror to be on notice that you will face severe criminal penalties and lengthy sentences in jail. This includes Antifa and others who are leading instigators of this violence. We must never give in to anger or hatred. If malice or violence reigns, then none of us is free. I take these actions today with firm resolve and with a true and passionate love for our country. By far, our greatest days lie ahead. Thank you very much, and now I'm going to pay my respects to a very, very special place. Thank you very much.
Amazing. See, there's hope in that. I don't know, and he might be out there somewhere, but I don't know one other man or male in this country that can do what this president is doing. Because most male and men have been so emotionally weakened and convinced that they need to act like little women by being angry and emotional. Show your emotions. Where's your emotions? It's normal to be emotional. It's not. Where's your passion? We're so fortunate to have this man in the White House at this time. So just imagine being the president of the greatest country in the world, trying to do the right thing. You got to really stand up alone and do it. But that's what happens when you are born of God. Most of the time, not all. You're not going to have the crowd with you. It's only the few. But I guarantee you, and only God can guarantee, right? But if you return men, if you go and forgive your mothers for turning you away from your fathers and imposing her will upon you, recreating you in her image, forgive her. Don't ask for forgiveness. Don't say, I love you. You don't love her. Don't apologize for what you've done. You couldn't help yourself. You were acting out your mother. You were living like a woman. Forgive her, and God will forgive you. Realize that she couldn't help it. If you do that, and then Forgive your fathers for not being able to protect you from your mothers, and just forgive him. Love him by not hating him. And love is just simply not being angry at, not hating. When you don't have anger, you have perfect love. When you love your father, you're home. You will be born of your spiritual father, God. That's all it takes. And you will become yourself again. And then your mind will be renewed. All that emotional garbage will be taken away from you. You will no longer need drugs and alcohol and addicted to cocaine and all this different stupid stuff, alcohol and all that, and sex before time, before marriage. You'll have control then. And the woman will be subject to you and no longer be your God. God will be your God, not the woman. And then she will follow you because she couldn't help it. Women are subject to men as men are subject to God. It's just a spiritual order. And nothing else is going to work but that. To be voting all these women into government and politics and mayors and congresswomen and schools and all they're doing is screwing it up. They can't help it because the love is in the man. The light is of the man, which is of God, and it will shine on the woman, and she will repent. Her mind will be renewed, and she can enter into your world. But as long as you're in her world, you're going to catch hell. It's just the way it's a spiritual thing. And it's not her. Particularly, it's the spirit that made a home in her. So men, you are needed. The world needs you. Women and children need you. The women are lost without you. They have no idea what they're doing because they don't have sound mind, logical minds. They need the mind of the father, but the mother will turn them away when they're little girls. So when they grow up, they need you to guide them. But if you have a mama's mind needing mama, how are you going to help them? I'm just saying out loud, all right? After the president gave that speech, he then proceeded to walk across the street to pay his respect in front of a parish house of St. John's Church. And this church had been vandalized the night before when protesters ignited a fire in the basement nursery. And apparently this church is an old church, and it's been around forever. Here's that soundbite.
Mr. President, are you prepared to use the military against U.S. citizens?
Press, we're going. Press, let's go.
That's the church. Amazing. No, I won't back down. I won't be pushed around. You can send me up to the gates of hell, but I won't back down. The president visited that church in spite of, just serious looting. And a very violent protest happened there. It's not logical to be destroying America. You have to be angry and not see what you're doing. It's not going to solve any problems. Just think about it. Y'all need to wake up, especially the men. And I don't care what kind of situation you're in the father state. You could be a slut maker. You could be a pothead or drug addict head, alcoholic head, or even a slut. But before the men, a homosexual, all this transgender mess. Once you forgive and love your father, You can overcome all of that because God doesn't care about any of that stuff. He's not holding that against you. He knows that you couldn't help yourself. You're in a fallen state. You're in darkness and don't realize it. And you're being used and kept in that darkness. So he's not holding that against you. The only thing that's keeping you from the light is that you won't forgive. You got to forgive. Forgive mama. It's going to be, forgiving mama is like facing Satan. But you got to face him and forgive. And God will forgive you and bring you into the light. It's so amazing. And you can overcome anything. And those things are not who you are. They are what you do as a result of being in a fallen state, in the darkness of Satan. There will come a day, a time, according to the scriptures, and it's true. I will return the children to the fathers and the fathers to the children. If that time was ever at hand, it is now. And once you wake up, all this mess will stop because it's evil, and good will defeat evil. Look at the president. You have an example of good right in front of you. That's why they hate him. But he won't back down. And once you wake up, you won't back down. You can't back down. You're not intimidated by fear and threats and lies and rumors about you that's not true and people turning on you, your own family member. You're not bothered by that anymore because those things are not as important as what is right. Amazing. And don't forget to like, follow, tweet, subscribe, and share the JLP Peterson radio show, folks. We really appreciate it. We are at war. It is a spiritual battle for the soul of America. And it's going to take all of us to do it.